Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today should be a fun video. We are doing a challenge. So this is a little tag video that's been going around the puzzle community here on YouTube. I saw it from Dan the Puzzle File. It originated from Sandra at the Puzzling Canadian. And I'll link all their videos down below in case you like this style of video and you want to see what other people have done. So it's called the 3-in-1 challenge. I have it up here on my phone. It's a little grid, and the goal is to be able to find a puzzle in your collection that matches 3 of the criteria that are in a row. So you can do diagonal, across, or down, and you can hopefully find a puzzle that meets 3 of those criteria in your collection. So I think the one that I'm going to do, I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. One thing I am interested in is to do a puzzle brand that I haven't done before. There's several in my collection, so hopefully one of them fits the other criteria. So I think I might be doing, I'm going to try to do diagonally. So it's a puzzle brand I haven't done before, a hobby or interest other than puzzling, and then the color red. I have a couple in mind, but I haven't looked at them up close, so hopefully one of them meets that criteria. But in general, I hope you like this video. Let's just see what I have. So sorry if this is a weird angle, but I want to go down here to a couple potential candidates. So the 2 I have that I was considering, first we have Reverie. It's a brand I haven't really done in a full size. I've only done their advent calendar. And I don't think this one qualifies because I have no shade of red, which is kind of unfortunate. This one is called Stories by the Campfire. Me and my husband love going camping, so this would have worked, but I don't have the color red. The next one I was considering was this one. This is from New England Puzzle Works, and I don't know if I have much of a hobby in here, other than I like to travel, and I did go to Boston, so I don't know if this one would work. Definitely has the shade red, is a brand I haven't done before, but I don't really see a hobby in here, so I think this one might be a no. Let's see what else we can find. I think I found it. So this one is from Puzzles with Hart. I haven't done this brand before. I've heard amazing things when I did the blog post for the ambassador's favorites for Puzzle Warehouse. Many of them mentioned this brand, so I'm very curious about it. I think it'll be fun. This one is called Wine Trails, and I'm gonna consider wine a hobby. This is something that me and Dave did a ton when we lived in Temecula. We would go to the wineries. It would be like a whole day thing. Like, we are huge wine fans, so I think this works. I'm considering wine a hobby. So it does have the color red in the red wine. I'm counting it. So I think this one meets the criteria, and I think it'll be really fun. So let's do this puzzle. So first up, let's start off with the puzzle pieces. They are a nice surface size, larger than traditional 1000 pieces, and they do have a little bit of a shine. Nothing super glossy. I feel like it's on the lines of a White Mountain puzzle or Buffalo Games. That's the type of shine we're dealing with. And inside the box, you also have this brochure about the nonprofits that they help support. So every purchase from this brand, a portion of the proceeds does go to a specific charity or organization. So there are a whole list of different organizations that they help support, but it's a little bit different than if you've ever done an art and fable puzzle. They do something similar, but each puzzle is designated to a specific organization. But with the Hart brand, it is just a vague, these are the different organizations or charities that we help support. So either way, I am happy that they do give back, and I'm excited to see what else they do. I won't talk you through this whole part of the video, but I wanted to just share a little bit of strategy with you. So the puzzle was a lot easier than I was anticipating. There's a lot of words to go by, which is always easy for me. So I sorted out the edges and then a specific font, which ended up being the different types of wine in the center of the puzzle, which has like this wood grain on it. There's also these corks that have little sayings on it, so pretty much sorted out anything that had those style of words.
and then I would go back in and there's other different wine bottles and such that I could pull from. So it ended up being a pretty easy puzzle to get along, and I will say it's a lot bigger than what I anticipated. I knew that Hart puzzles were a little larger in size than your typical 1,000 piece puzzles. The puzzle board that I'm using in this video is supposed to be for 1,500 piece, and it barely fits. So I had to move you back a little bit, so sorry if the angle is a little bit on the weird side. After I did those specific words, I ended up going into the bottom part of the puzzle, which is a lot of cheeses and breads, very distinct textures, and I did different wine glasses. So you could tell the difference of the wine glasses because of the coloring. There's like a haziness to the things that you were supposed to see through it. And I also sorted out a few other fonts, so there was a sign at the very top of the puzzle, and then I had this little basket with another wine bottle and some goodies. And I normally don't do this style of collage puzzle, but I really thought it was super fun. Maybe it's because it is a hobby that I love, but it was just a good time. I sorted out grapes and different things. There's just a lot of different areas to work from. I was never stuck. And I'm not sure if you're noticing, but my sleeve has changed a few times in this video. I think it took me 3 or 4 days to complete this puzzle, and it wasn't like long puzzling times each day. I think I spent maybe 2 hours each day. I think it in total took me about 6 hours to complete this puzzle. I just did it a couple hours in the evening each night, and I really enjoyed that. I always love spending a little bit more time with my puzzle. I feel like I got more use out of it, even though it still only took me 6 hours. And at this point, I was flying through the pieces. I had just a few grapes that I was putting in, and then the last little wine barrel. But in general, I really enjoyed this puzzle, a lot larger than your typical puzzle, and I'll also say the fit is fantastic. It almost got a little bit too tight at the end, trying to get some of those pieces in, but overall, this was a lovely puzzle to do.
I am back, and I will say the hype is real for this puzzle brand. When I was doing that blog post for Puzzle Warehouse, and so many of my fellow ambassadors was raving about this brand, I had never done it, and now that I have, I get it. It is a great brand. It is much bigger than your typical 1,000 piece puzzle. I feel like it's very similar to White Mountains, their jumbo size puzzles, because this is a board for 1,500 pieces and it's just like barely making it. So I do really like the piece size, definitely easier to use on days that I'm like a little bit more achy. I also want to mention, in the video you do see some shine on the puzzle, but it's really not that bad. It's just the angle of the camera that I had to do because the puzzle is so large. So I do have a little bit of shine, but nothing drastic. It's not super glossy or anything. And I can see it fine while doing it. It was just the angle that you guys could see when I was filming it. As far as the coloring, it's beautiful. Fit, fantastic. It's almost a little too snug because you're really having to like smush those puzzle pieces in once they get a big chunk together. But the fit is really, really great. I could see this surviving a pickup challenge no problem. I just really like this. Now, when I was originally looking at Hart puzzles a while ago, like a few years ago, there wasn't too many images that I was into. They're definitely more like the collage style of things, but I did notice they have way more options than what they used to. So I was just looking on the Puzzle Warehouse website. They have 500 and 1,000 piece puzzles, and there's so many that I am interested in. So this is definitely a brand that has definitely sparked my interest. As far as the challenge goes, I really enjoyed it. It was something different and broke me out into doing a puzzle that has been on my to-do list for years. And it was a very good experiment. I don't think it would fit many other criteria. The only other thing it would have worked with is including a beverage, but I can see this being a fun tool or doing something similar with different criteria to figure out which puzzle to do next. It's always fun for me to have a little less say in what puzzles I'm doing next. So this was a really good experiment. I had a good time. I would love to know if you guys are doing something similar. If you want to follow this challenge, I would love to know. Let me know on Instagram, whatever, what you are doing. But thank you so much for tuning into this video. Loved doing this puzzle, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.